Good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing okay. Oh, this is crooked again. Sorry about that. I hope everyone's having a happy Thursday. I'm gonna just check over here to make sure I'm live where I'm supposed to be live. Let's see. Oh, I said Thursday, didn't I? It's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody's ready for their weekend. If you're here with me this morning, please leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here watching. I would love to know where you're here watching from. My name is Jana Edwards. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I go live twice a week to show you how to use your Stampin' Up! Products to create really cute projects. I share tips, tricks along the way, and we just have a little bit of fun. So if you're here watching me, like I said before, please drop a comment. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here watching. I'm sorry, I'm just cleaning up my work surface a little bit while I'm talking to you. I was here Tuesday, so if you joined me Tuesday at 10. I go live Tuesdays at 10 and typically Thursdays at 3 o'clock. This week I changed my schedule up a little bit. It was my best friend's birthday this week, so we spent a little time together yesterday. And anyway, let's get started. Today we are using the Scenic Adventures bundle. I'm going to turn my camera down. I really don't have any like Stampin' Up! News to share with you. I shared some things on Tuesday about the new packaging that they're going to be coming up with, and I can share that with you again today a little bit. Let me turn my work surface down. I'm going to show you the products that we're using today and then the projects that we'll be creating today. I have my second card is not 100% finished, but it's all up in my brain and we'll just create it together. The first project is done. Second one, not so much. And I took these ideas, Melissa Faust had created some cards with these back in May and I really liked them. So I kind of took her ideas and revamped them, used her design a little bit, but used different papers and whatnot. So let me turn my camera down and I will show you what we're working with today. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so this is one of the cards that we're going to be creating today. It's really cute. If you were here on Tuesday, you saw that we created these two cards here. Super cute. And I do offer the projects as a kit to go. So if you place a $50 order in my online store between now and this Saturday, I'll send you all of the products to create the 4 cards that we created. The only thing I don't supply are stamped images. It's against Stampin' Up! Policy for demonstrators to supply stamped images. So if it's a die cut that's not part of the bundle, you'll receive that in your kit and all of the cardstock and designer series paper to recreate these projects, okay? This is the bundle that we're using today. It's really cute, and then it has all of these dies in it. It's got a couple of mountain dies, stars and a moon. There's a couple of trees. There's a log, some logs and a campfire. There you have trees, grass, there's water. It's just a really cute set. If you want to go back and re-watch the video from Tuesday where we created these 2 cards, please do that. It's in my it's on my YouTube channel. You can find it there. There's also a playlist on my YouTube channel that's called, I think it's called Stampin' Ink, and you'll be able to find all of the videos there for all the projects that we've created using Stampin' Up products. We're also using the Gallery, what's it called? Beautiful Gallery. I keep calling it Gallery Blooms, but we're using the Beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper, and I am just dropping everything today. Let me show you this beautiful paper. On one side, like the A side, you have a scenery, and on the B side, you have just a pattern. This reminds me of wallpaper. This one would be cute just in a gold frame and hung up on the wall. I thought it was really pretty. I actually used 2 sheets of this already, and I want to make sure to save one. But here's your scenery again, and then your pattern. This would be another one that's pretty in a frame, and then your pattern on the other side. I think I showed all of these on Tuesday also, but there's just some really pretty sceneries. This one would make really good Christmas cards. There we go. I think we've seen all of these already. This one is a pretty one. There's a map on that side, and then this one is like a nautical theme. See, it has the boats there. And then this one, I thought this one was really pretty. I am into the blues right now. I don't know what it is. My style is changing. I feel like I'm going a little more moody colors, you know, moody cottage, and I'm wanting to redo my front porch. And so I started rewatching episodes of Hometown. I love that show. And it makes me want to get back in the, back in the decorating mood. My husband and I we moved in our house in 2006, and hi. I'm stamping confetti. Is this Claudia? It shows up as your I guess your business page name, but how are you? This is one of the cards we're gonna create today. Yes, okay, good. This is one of the cards that we're going to create today. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. I already have everything pre-cut. So we're starting with a crumb cake card base. Let me move this out of my way. I'm off a little bit today because it's on a Friday instead of a Thursday. But nope, this is the wrong one. Hold please. Here we go. All right. This is the correct project for this one, the correct kit for this one. So we're starting off with a crumb cake card base, and then I'm going to grab, I didn't cut out my arch, so let me do that. I need a piece of, let's see, which one was it? Not that one. Here it is. I'm using a piece of this 6x6 Designer Series paper, and I'm going to use the Everyday Arches dies to cut out this arch right back here. So I'm going to bring over my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Good. I'm glad you're deciding to buy this set. It's, you can make so many cute things with it. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it, but I've actually enjoyed creating with it. So I'm gonna grab the Everyday Arches dies, and I'm using the third one from the largest. Nope, sorry, the fourth one from the largest to cut out this arch. Let me make sure it's the right size. And you know, I could probably go bigger. So I think for this one, I'm gonna change the size of the arch and I'm actually gonna go a little bigger. I'm gonna use the third size from the largest. Do you ever do that? You make a card and then you decide if you go to make it again, you decide you wanna change it a little bit. I think I like the larger arch because it covers more surface area. So I'm gonna use it and I'm just going to get it where I want it. On my piece of designer series paper. I like this over here, so I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as possible. I'm going to use some Post-it note tape. And we are going to just cut this out, and then you can use the other side of the paper to create another card, or even use a smaller arch or even another die cut to cut out the other side. Let's go ahead and cut this out. Put that in my scraps. Let me put this over here. Okay. Here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just glue this down. Yeah, see, I like the larger arch. I'm gonna move that over here so you can see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue the arch down. I'm gonna use I'm just using snail today. I was watching someone else create with this card, and I can't believe this set was it was back in May, Stampin' Up! Released it. So I used, let's see, what color did I use? Let me look over here. It's basic beige. I used basic beige to cut out the mountains, mossy meadow to cut out the grass. This label is it's the largest label from the Grow with Love bundle, the Grow with Love dies. And I think it's on the last chance list right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just put these flowers, I cut out the flowers, I'm going to pop them right behind there. I'm gonna use some adhesive and I'm just going to stick them to the back of this mountain right here. I'm gonna tuck them in. Right about there. Then I'm gonna layer my grass on the mountain. Let's see. Because we're gonna tear this. So I think I'm gonna glue it to where the flowers are right about there, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna add some glue. To the back of this. Oops, hold. I'm going to layer it right there. Then I want to take and I'm going to just tear this edge off. And it's going to go, I'll make sure that it sits right there. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to just make this even right here. I'm going to trim just that little section off there. Now I'm going to use my Stampin' Dimensionals and add a few dimensionals to the back. I'm going to add one right here. Actually, I think I'm going to pull this one up and I'm going to add it right there, because when I tore that, it cuts into the mountain, the die cut. It leaves a texture there and it pulled those pieces apart, so I want to make sure there's some adhesive there to hold that together. I'm going to add one here, there at the bottom. I think I'm going to put this one more to the bottom, and then I'll add another one right in there. Okay. Then I'm just going to remove all these backings. And add this to the card front right there. Then I'm going to take this label that I cut from the Grow with Love. Your kit will have the label in it. I'm going to use the Early Espresso ink and the stamp that says just breathe and take it slow. And I'm going to stamp it right in the center of the label. Then, when I glue it down, when I adhere it down, since the mountains are popped up on dimensionals, I want the top of this label to lay flat up against the grass portion. So I'm going to add 3 dimensionals just along the bottom of the label. And then I'll add adhesive to the top. So I'm going to add dimensionals at the very bottom, and then I'll put a strip of adhesive at the top, so that way that sticks down and it's flush with the grass and everything stays even on the card. Just like so. Okay, then, where is it? I'm going to take my linen thread and create a double bow and just tie the bow. And I'm going to stick it right there in the corner with a glue dot. And I just took the linen thread and measured out a long piece and then folded it over on top of itself. And then I'm just looping around to create that bow. Pulling my tails as I need to. And I'm going to use my scissors. And I'm going to snip that one end that was the loop, and then I'm going to snip here. Then I'm going to grab my glue dots. I'm going to take your pick tool, and I like to take my take your pick tool and I just put it in the center of that glue dot, and I'll move it around in a circle until that glue dot becomes a ball. Just take and put it on the back of that bow, and then put it right there. And then you can also fix it. I like linen thread because it goes whichever way it wants to, and I think that's okay. I'm going to snip my tails make them a little shorter. Then I'm gonna grab the pressed flower motifs, which is part of the suite with the gallery motifs. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to add one of the large, oh, and it landed perfect. So I didn't have to grab another one. I'm going to use one of the larger ones and then one of the smaller ones, and I'm going to use another smaller one right down here. Then I need a piece of basic beige. I'm having a hard time with my names today. Let me grab it. I'm going to cut a piece of basic beige cardstock at 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to do this over here to the side. Actually, I'll bring this over here and we'll cut it. So we're going to go 4 by 5 1/4. I have the, there's like a fluffy tree, a skinny tree. So there's a tiny tree, a tall skinny tree, and then a little fluffy tree. So I'm using the middle tree, the fluffy tree. I don't know what my trees are. I don't know what trees are called, but I'm using the fluffiest one. And I'm gonna ink it up in an early espresso and just stamp it in the corner, the right hand corner. And use my adhesive. And we're going to add that to the inside. And there we go. So which do you like? The larger arch or the smaller arch? It's just, I mean, it's a little bit of difference, but I think I like the bigger one. I like how it takes up more of the card base, of the front of the card base. So there's our first card. The second one, like I said, it's in my brain. I know what I want it to look like. So just roll with me for a minute. Okay, hang on just 1 second. All right, so again, I'm starting with a crumb cake card base. We still call it crumb cake, yes. Then I took another piece of crumb cake cardstock and I measured it at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I cut the center out with one of the Everyday Arches dies like this. So here's the center part, and I believe I used the third from the largest again. So 1, 2, 3, I use this third one here. And save your insides so that it, you know, the other piece, you can use it on another project. Then I cut a piece of the designer series paper. It's the one that has the house on it. I cut that by 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I cut the grass piece out of old olive cardstock. I cut the trees, so I used, let's see, I'll do this. So the grass is cut with this die here. I'll show you. this die cuts this piece, okay? I used the forest trees here to cut this piece. And I didn't care that the bottom edge was cut up. It should be, normally it would be straight, but I didn't care that it was cut because I'm going to layer the grass on top of it, okay? So Mossy Meadow was that one. Then I used the larger trees to cut the 2 trees out of Mossy Meadow, and then the baby tree, and I cut another little tree out of Mossy Meadow, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece of cardstock and I'm going to layer the trees and the grass here towards the bottom, like so. And then this will layer on top of it. And then we'll put the 2 trees and the little tree right in here. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use my liquid glue for this. That was a lot. That's why you use your silicone mat too, because the glue won't stick to your silicone mat. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same with the grass. Sorry if I'm out of frame. My trees look crooked. All right, now I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut just the edge off. That's what I love about the silicone mat. You can just rub that glue in it. All right. Trying to decide if I want to add some texture to this or if I want to just leave it flat. I think I want to add a little texture to this, so I'm going to run it through. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to use an embossing folder. And let's see. I don't want to use exposed brick. Let's see. Ooh, is the timber? What would that look like if we use the timber embossing folder? Let's try that. Make it look like a piece of wood. this is not a 3D, so I need my number 4. Okay. Well, let's just get out a new one because I don't know where my other one's at. I need to clean my craft room. So bad. I think, what does it say? For the regular embossing folder, standard embossing folders, you need 1 and 2 3s. So I didn't need that one after all. I just need 1. I need the platform and then 2 of the clear plates, right? That's what it says, isn't it? This is not a, is it 3D? It is a 3D. So for 3Ds, you need 1 and 4. So just the bottom plate and the number 4. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue, I'm going to put this down on the card front. Like so. Then I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this and glue it and put it down on the card front. Have this whole other sheet over here. And I may have to use some of the little ones for right there in the middle because that's a little I think I'm going to add some more. I'm going to add one here, here, and I may add, there we go. I know that's a lot of dimensionals. This becomes very flimsy. Once you break the fibers down in the paper and you run it through your embossing machine and everything, it breaks the fibers down so the paper is not as sturdy as it was in the beginning. Two more. I think that's it. Yes. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and lay that on our card front. I think my kitty cat wants in here with me. What's the matter? Was that you that came in here? So we have our card front done. I'm going to take my trees and just punch out those extra pieces. And I'm going to add a dimensional right here in the center of the large tree. Have a sneeze, sorry. Okay, I muted the microphone so y'all didn't have to listen to me sneeze. Okay, I'm gonna add a dimensional right in the center of this big tree so that it will be even, because it's gonna stick right here, and then the smaller tree is gonna stick on the end. And I think I'll use a small dimensional on the top of it here. Maybe one more right there. And then I'm gonna put some adhesive here. Okay, so let me take these off and take the backings off. And my finger's sticking to that. Is anybody else ready for the seasons to change? I'm so ready for cooler weather. Oh, that's over. I was hanging off the edge of the card. There we go. Off of the card base. So there's that. Cute. And then this one, I'm just gonna put some adhesive on the back. And we're gonna put it right here on the edge of our card. I think I'm gonna go right about here. Since it's already down. Okay. I'm gonna use, we could cut out the little campfire and put the campfire here too. Let's do that. So we'll cut out our campfire pieces. I'm gonna grab some early espresso. Grab a piece of early espresso. So we use early espresso, and we'll cut out the little logs here. I'm gonna cut this down real quick. So we'll cut out our logs in early espresso, and then we'll use a piece of Daffodil Delight for the fire. And I just happen to have some adhesive already on the back of this piece. So let's do that. I almost dropped them. dog and the fire. Super cute. Okay, so we'll do, I'm gonna grab my tweezers. It's easier to so we can do it like this. I think I'm gonna have it on the inside there. Okay, what's the matter? My cat is pawing me. Just gonna add a little spot of glue. I'm gonna put it right there. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to get this adhesive off the back of here, this backing. And we'll put our little flame right there. Cute. Okay, now let's see. I think I'm going to use this little square here. And I had Journey, but I think I'm going to use Adventure. So I'm going to clean this off real quick and switch it out. Won't fit, it won't, but okay. I'm gonna cut this out of, this is the, what is this? These are the Nested Essentials dies that I'm grabbing this little square from. And I'm gonna use no, I think I'm gonna stick with I'll do crumb cake, and so I'll cut the square out of crumb cake, and I'm just gonna do this right over here. And I'm going to stamp, let the, whoops. I'm going to use Early Espresso. And we're going to go right in the center and do Let Thee, and then I'm going to, I think I'm going to stamp Adventure. Like so. And then I'm going to fussy cut the word Adventure out. I'm going to cut it off so it's easier to work with. I feel like I should be, you know, holding one of my tongue out of one side of my mouth and have to concentrate. Ooh. And then we'll put this right here in the center. I'll pop it up with a mini dimensional. I'm going to put dimensionals right in here so that way, actually, let's see. I need one more right there. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals here at the bottom so that it'll pop up. So I'm going to add one right here on the corner. So it'll be level. And then we'll add adhesive to the other side. And we'll add it just right about there, like so. Okay, so I'm going to add some adhesive just to the top corner here and maybe down the edge. So cute. And I think I'm going to add another piece of the basic beige to the inside of this. So I'm going to cut me a piece of basic beige down to 4 by 5 1/4. Let me do some housekeeping real quick. Oh, sorry, this is very vanilla. That's okay. I think I'll go with very vanilla on the inside. So we're gonna cut it. Do a little housekeeping over here. I'm gonna have to clean my craft room when I get done today. So we're gonna cut it down 4 by 5 1/4. I'm gonna grab my mossy meadow and the large tree, stamp it like so in the corner. Then we'll add some adhesive, if I can find it. I'll grab my silicone mat. We'll add some adhesive to the back of this panel and we'll put this on the inside of the card and we'll be done with this one. So here we go. These were our 4 cards And thank you to Melissa Faust for the inspiration for these 2 cards today. Go check hers out. Hers, I think she posted hers back in May. So if you want to see her cards, go check those out. But here's our 4 cards for this week. If you would like the kits for these cards, please place a what am I trying to say? Just place a $50 order at my online store, and I'll send you the kits to make these 4 cards, a kit to make these 4 cards. I won't send any stamped images, but I will send you any of the die cuts that aren't part of the bundle and the designer series paper. All right, you can shop at, there should be a link in the description of the video where you can shop, or there's a link in the bio of my page, I think. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me this week. And also I wanted to say thank you to my new YouTube subscribers. I think I'm up to 224, I think I counted today. So yay, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for liking and enjoying and subscribing to my content. It really means a lot, okay? Thank you again for being here today, and I'll see you on Tuesday next week. Tuesday at 10 a.m. for Coffee and Cards. We'll do 2 more cards. Can't remember exactly what we're going to be using, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. So don't miss out, okay? Have a good weekend. Everybody stay safe and happy stamping. Bye.